everyone to the 2024 Denville Volunteer Council Award Presentation Dinner. Thank you all for coming. A special thank you to Dana and his group here at DCM for recording this, and so we'll have it and they'll put it on social media. Bridget, I have to thank, a last minute mix up with the brochures. She came through and got them set for us. I appreciate that. And my council, Susan Richter, Vice President, Treasurer, Donna Farrelly, Secretary, and Kevin Scollins, Vice President. I would like to take a moment of silence, please, for our dear friend Carol Jacko, who passed away recently. She was a big supporter of everything Denville. They're going to have a celebration of life on April 13th at 1 p.m. at Gardner Field, if anyone would like to join. So if you just give me a moment, please. Now I'd like to ask Mayor Andes to come up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please stand.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Kevin Scollins for the invocation, please.
I am going to turn that over to my daughter Colleen. She's much better at it than I am.
There you go.
Wow.
Thank God for all you do and bringing us together to honor our volunteers of the year and junior volunteers of the year. Thank you, God, for giving us Susan Reinhardt, President of Denville Pride, and her tireless committee, Donna Farrelly, Susan Richter, and many others, for all their hard work putting together this annual event. God bless each of our volunteers and our 2 junior volunteers for all that they do. God bless all of today's festivities. God bless America. Amen.
Amen.
In life of all the things we do, this is one of my favorite tasks. Anything we can do for the young is what we need to be doing. Thank you. Olivia Egbert, Arena Summers, on behalf of Pride, Denville Council, I would like to welcome you each and your mother and dad. There's a mother and a dad. I would like to invite them up, please. Come on up. Thank you. I know they're proud, and you should be. Congratulations to these 2 wonderful young ladies and their parents as well for being here today to receive this great honor. You are an inspiration to every young person and your co-students. You're an inspiration to your parents, to the town of Denville, to the Pride Council, and all that you represent. Thank you for that, and you make me proud. On behalf of the Denville Pride Council, I would like to present you each with a check for $250. I will bring that to the table right after this to give to you. In addition, the Nicholas Piscano Memorial Award will be presented to you at your 8th grade graduation awards. Mr. Piscano was a long-time educator in the Denville school systems. and a tireless community volunteer just like you two girls. God bless you and guide you, Olivia and Arena, in all your future endeavors. And I know you will continue to aspire in everything you do. God bless. Come on up here. Actually, let me just wait 1 minute. I can give it to you right now. Let's see, Olivia. God bless. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. We had a great crowd tonight. First, I'd like to congratulate the two young ladies on receiving the Youth Volunteer Award. I'd like to thank Denville Media for being here and for all the great work they've done. And you guys have really upped your game, and it's great. And keep it up. And thank you very much for that. You know, over the course of a year, my wife Sharon and I go to many functions, schools and the clubs and the sports and all that. And we enjoy them all. We really do. But there's something special about tonight, because tonight this is the organization of all our organizations. It's a fabric of our community. It's where we all have the chance to come together. And we celebrate the great people of Denville, because that's what makes Denville great. It really is, it's the people. So it's my privilege to present to Clyde's Cleaners the Business of the Year Award. Boy, they deserve it. They deserve it for a long time. All right, and I'd like to just read a proclamation that I have. Whereas Clyde Lobb purchased J&L Cleaners on the corner of Broadway and First Avenue in Denville in 1963. And whereas Clyde and his wife Jean loved the area and moved their family from Wayne to Boonton Township. And whereas in 1972, Clyde purchased the building located at 28 Diamond Spring Road, where Clyde's Cleaners still runs and operates 52 years later. Whereas Clyde's children, when they were old enough, John and Kathy helped at the store, and in 1987, John purchased the business and the building from his parents. And whereas sadly both Clyde and Jean have since passed, but you can still find John at the store with his sister Kathy behind the counter. And whereas Clyde's Cleaners takes great pride in performing the highest quality service to every garment in their care, and at the forefront of the business is always customer service. And whereas because of John Love's generosity to the Denville firefighters by offering complimentary dry cleaning of dress uniforms and their Santa Claus suits, for the members he has bestowed the status of honorary fireman of the Township of Denville. And whereas John never takes payment for cleaning American flags or vestments for our clergy, and he donates unclaimed garments to the needy, Clyde Cleaners has sponsored countless youth sports teams and supported our community's nonprofit organizations by offering gift certificates. And whereas gone are the days when many Denville businesses were owned by Denville residents, but John and Kathy had made Clyde Cleaners the only dry cleaning owned and operated by Denville residents. They run their business and treat every customer like they're a member of their family, and should be commended for their operating a successful small business, a successful small family dry cleaning business in an era where casual dress is acceptable. Now therefore, I, Thomas W. Andes, Mayor of the Township of Denville, in recognition of the Lopes family's operation of running a successful and small family business for over 52 years, along with John's civic-mindedness and his commitment to the community of Denville, proclaim March 21st, 2024 as Clyde Cleaners Day in Denville, and I urge all our citizens to pay special tribute to this very special Denville family and business, and I would like to present to them the key to the city.
We got to get a picture, Jeff, right there.
Jack, okay.
Donna, get in.
Jeff, get the picture.
I would, that's wishful thinking. I think that's, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
On behalf of the Denville Pride.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. 2024 Mayor's Business of the Year Award awarded to Clyde Cleaners. Congratulations. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next award is the Group of the Year, Volunteer Group of the Year, and that goes to Two Girls Media. Bridget and Vicky, you come up, please. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Kevin got me all thrown tonight. Jean Fitzpatrick will announce the Group of the Year award.
I think Bridget and Vicky are going to stay seated until I'm finished, and then they'll come up because I know they're not going to want to say a lot. So first of all, happy Clyde's Cleaners Day, everybody. Mayor, it's 7:30. I hope we can extend it a full 24 hours because it doesn't give us, if it ends at midnight, it doesn't give us a lot of time to celebrate Clyde's Cleaners Day. So I just want to make sure we get it in. And I know they got the key to town hall, so party after the show, all right? Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the Denville Volunteer Committee. The township is truly made, as the mayor said, this town is just made of volunteers. It's crazy. It's in the water, right? I mean, it's so really contagious, and it's so outstanding to be so privileged to have so many great people that volunteer, including our next group. And so Two Girls Media is the company that Bridget and Vicky have, and they do these great guides in town, and you're probably all very familiar with them. But really, I think we're recognizing, the two girls, right? Bridget and Vicky have given so much more than even just that company is. I'll go back quite a ways, and it was maybe before Bridget and Vicky even met, but I hope I'm not giving away too many secrets here, Bridge. But, Bridget started something over 10 years ago that seemed like it's a simple thing. It's a Facebook group, right? She simply started a Facebook group, which sounds easy enough, right? But Denville residents and business owners. Sounds simple, but it really isn't. Because what happened is, especially at the time, it was shortly after Hurricane Irene. It was just a couple of years after that. The communication methods, obviously technology had changed it, were really changing. And by just doing something as simple as that, it allowed so many people to connect further in town and get instant answers. And it's not an easy task because ultimately it still requires somebody to moderate it and check it and update and make sure it's not getting crazy because sometimes it does. So, Bridget really had done that all on her own. I think shortly after Bridget and Vicky met, and it was certainly a good thing because another real fabric of our town was the Gardner Field Playground. And many, many years ago, and this was before me, but you hear legendary stories about how the original playground was built. And sure enough, what was it? It was a good old-fashioned barn raising, right? Of everybody in town coming together and working to create something great for our children. So Bridget and Vicky were the next generation. With many others, they helped lead creating Project Playground 2.0. To outstanding success. My kids, every kid's there. I'm jealous. I wish I could go up on that high thing. My wife won't let me. So it's really outstanding. But another part of that in the fundraising for that, because you start to think about all these great things that happen in Denville and that are going on, and you like look back and you go, oh God, Bridget and Vicky are somehow connected to that as well. So as part of Project Playground, they started a food truck festival, which was great, a great success. You know, we really hadn't had a great like fall festival after the Harvest Festival, you know, sort of no longer happened. You didn't have that fall activity. And now the Food Truck Festival, which has moved on to help other organizations, but was initially started by those two. And I think they're going to be involved in the one this year again. So they're getting pulled back into it. And then another quick forward, not too long ago during COVID, and I know I'm saying a lot, but they're not going to say a word. So we're going to make they're going to say thank you and they're going to sit down. So I'm going to have to say it for them. You know, during COVID, and we all know what a difficult time that was, but you got to be proud of what Denville did. Denville Strong, right? This was an initiative to help those healthcare workers that were putting in countless hours right here in St. Clair's by providing them everything we could. And it was mostly food and meals and you know, discounts here. And again, it was helping those healthcare workers first and foremost, but you know what? It was also a tremendous help to our businesses in town because we were purchasing things from Denville businesses, purchasing food from them, and it was really just helping everybody. Obviously, I can go on and on. I'll just mention one more thing. Just, I guess, within the last year and a half or so, you know, they really realized an opportunity to increase a little bit of sort of culture and music and art. And, you know, I know even myself, part of an organization that's a great organization, but we even a couple of years ago, you know, we're struggling with the future of the organization. And it was a concern because as part of the Downtown Denville organization, we're doing a lot of those things. And, you know, they were a little bit in jeopardy as volunteership goes down and what have you. But Bridget and Vicky were able to start the Denville Arts Council, another great initiative that is really in its infancy, but is paying off dearly. I think it's in Town Hall this week that the gallery is set up of local artists. And there's so many other things from music in the park to other cultural events that I know I'm part of our Downtown Denville Business Improvement District Board, and it's such a great draw to our town. And it opens up so many other things because it opens up opportunities for grant funding in the future and other things. So again, you could just see how these two girls, their activities, much like volunteer in this town, they're contagious and they keep spreading and they keep getting bigger and bigger, and everything they're doing just keeps growing and keeps exponentially growing. So it's a great honor to be able to present the Two Girls Media, the Group of the Year Award for 2024. Please come up, Bridget and Vicky, and please say something too.
Thank you, Jean. I feel like we've known Jean a really long time, and we don't really talk about the things that we do too much, so it's really nice to be in this room of so many volunteers and to be recognized by you. So on behalf of Bridget and I, we really appreciate it. I did want to point out you should come to Town Hall on Saturday between 1 and 3, and we're having an artist reception for the new Town Hall Gallery, and all the artwork's available for purchase.
Jab.
Jab.
Can't get good help nowadays, folks.
Jab. Take a picture, Jab.
You got to take a picture. Okay, smile.
There you
Jab,
go.
get that picture.
Thank you.
Go sit down, Kevin. Oh, one moment, please. The mayor would like to have a moment.
I have a proclamation for Two Girls Media for their store, but I promise you I will not read it. I have a rule, only one proclamation per event. But but you guys are great, and you give so much to our community, and you brought new energy, and you're bringing new things, and you're helping all different kinds of organizations. So you can hang it up in your store, or you can fight over it, or maybe I can make a second one if you like it. Whatever you want to do. All right, thank you.
Alrighty, the moment we've been waiting for. My man, Kevin Scollins, Volunteer of the Year. He's enjoying every minute, and rightfully so. Ellen Sandman to present.
First of all, Bridget, you couldn't have stood any further away from the microphone. If I had a lasso. Anyway, they do what they do and they don't look back. They just keep doing and doing and doing. And I've been very honored to be a part of whatever they do. Anyway, we just keep going, so we don't look back. This is going to be anyway, the program is even modified as I see it, and that is, as luck would have it, and it is the Irish month of luck and green. And today in this room we have the 2024 Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And Jack, don't sit down, Jack, because you're going to start walking towards me. Jack is not Irish for nothing either. And in every place where there's a couple of Irishmen, myself included, you have to have a song. So I'm going to accompany him with this harmonica. No. Though he says he can sing a cappella, and I think, even though I don't know how many drinks he's had, not enough. So here's Jack, and he's going to sing his favorite song, and he'll tell you what that is.
Thank you very much. It was just wonderful to be here tonight. Not being a resident of Denville, but pretty close to Morris Plains. But it's really terrific to see the community come together like this. Born and raised in New York City, up in the northern part of Manhattan, mother and father from Ireland. And anytime we got together as a family, there was always a song to be sung, all right? Or tell a joke, or tell an interesting story. So you didn't get away, you didn't get out the door without making a contribution. So I'm going to sing a song which I learned probably when I was about 17 years old, and I've never forgotten it since. So you probably have heard this. It's called the Black Velvet Band. All right? There we go. In a little town they call Belfast, apprenticed to trade I was bound. And many an hour of sweet happiness I spent in that sweet little town. Then bad misfortune came o'er me and caused me to stray from the land, far away from my friends and relations, to follow the Black Velvet Band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. As I was walking one evening, not meaning to go very far, when I met with a wickersome damsel, there selling her trade at the bar. And a watch she took from a customer and put it right into my hand. And the law came and put me in prison, bad luck to her black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. This morning before judge and jury, for trial I did have to appear. And the judge, he said, my dear young fellow, the case against you is quite clear. And 7 long years is your sentence. You're going to Bad Demon's Land, far away from your friends and relations, to follow the Black Velvet Band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. So beware, my jolly young fellows, I'll have you take warning by me. Watch out for those pretty colleens, my lad, they'll fill you with sheer misery. And they'll fill you with whiskey and porter until you're not able to stand. And the very next thing that you know, my lad, you've landed in Bad Demon's Land. Last time. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Woo-hoo! Damn it, you buddy. My man. All right, very good.
He's saying one more, but wait, this is a long program. We'll see. I don't think... Thanks to you, Ellen. All right, we talked about, people have mentioned it, the mayor, Jean, the uniqueness of Denville, and whether it's in the water or the air. There is a special place called Denville, and it really, you volunteer and you volunteer and you volunteer. So how did we wind up with Kevin? I'm going to talk nice, though. Well, first, go easy. Well, first, I'm going to speak geographically how we wound up with Kevin. Cavan, is it? Yes. In Ireland, and then to London, England, and then to the United States, in a place that the Grand Marshal is familiar with, Little Dublin in Morristown, and then he got real smart and came to Denville. So that's one element that makes a person, where they come from and where they wind up. And the next important thing is to talk about family. And as you can see, I got the information that you gave me, Kevin, and then I have the special information that Kathleen gave me. So we'll be mixing the two. Now, Kathleen is a wonderful person that I also know, and as a volunteer herself. But the irony is, in her thing, she said they were married 50 plus years. It's actually about almost close to 55 years. And according to your husband, when he wrote this down, he said that he met his Kathleen, Midtown Manhattan, at a ballroom, and the date you put down was 1667. So I email you back and say, I didn't say, you're part of the Highlands, did you go through the Stones? And did you know we're back in 1667? I think, folks, he meant 1967, but I will say this, that he, when I said, did you check your dates and everything? He said, I've known Kathleen for a very long time, but the time has gone quickly. This man really must love you since 1667, and he's not tired of you since. And then more family comes, and daughter Colleen married to Rob, and Brendan married to Melissa, and Tara married to Mike. And then the grandchildren, which I want to make sure I get them all. That would be Connor and Caitlin and Riley. Oh, this is an Irish family. And Harper and Jack and Sydney. And that was in Kathleen's. But being a true Irishman and also a true family man, would I be remiss if I didn't mention the dog Patty? The dog Patty for 12 years, a lad the love of his life. He describes him with the best personality. So one of the things too, when you think about the kind of a fellow he is and family, whether it be at the dinner table or around the pool, they love to hear the stories. And Kevin, not being Irish for nothing, would tell a couple of stories about the old times. And I believe Harper and Jack really like to hear about the Banshee. And this is where the poachine comes in. If you don't know what that is, it's like white lightning from Ireland. And I think he's had a few when he's telling the Banshee story. But I digress. So anyway, that's another way you wind up being a volunteer, because you come from family and you just want to do right. And his career, he was in the pharmaceutical. He opened up his own business while he was working there. He opened up an engineering group that would do inspections. And then in retirement, he's a substitute teacher and still going strong. And that conversation I had on the phone when I said to Kevin that I was honored that I was going to be able to present this award. And one of the things we talked about work. Did we talk about the science or a discovery? No. We talked about the people. We talked about his mentorship. We talked about him caring about some people that were going through some hard times and how he could help them. And that's what the true spirit of volunteerism comes from, your work ethic. It's not, if a person talks to you about all they did at work, they're a nice person, but they're not a true Denvilleite volunteer, because it's about the people. And Kevin really had that correct. Back to our Grand Marshal, he likes the historian. Kevin, when he came here, I guess you got drafted by the Army. Were you not a U.S. citizen even yet? No. I want to tell you, they do that. They did it, they started the Civil War, right? The guys were getting off the boat from Ireland and they inscripted them right off to the war. And here Kevin, poor Kevin, just minding his own business. He would have volunteered though, I know that. But they did draft him and he did become a citizen. Yes, I'm sure it was. And then I want to talk about, we want people in here that are resilient. So the story goes that any man that Kevin, because Kathleen told me and it must be true, he fell off 2 ladders and a roof unscathed. And he's here today, and that's the stamina of what you have. And then the other thing I'd like to say, and I guess I could say it about myself at this time, but this is from Kathleen, and I want to make sure I get it correct. Not only does he say yes to everyone, but he can talk to anyone. I mean, this is from her. Anyone. And he is generally interested, and I love the Irish. You said he's generally interested. He's not always interested. Sometimes the Irish have to tell you the whole story. He's mostly interested in what you have to say, but not everything. He's interested. You always need to add extra time to all the outings with Kevin, because inevitably he will strike up a conversation with somebody where there will be laughter and smiles all around. There's now the point of the actual reasoning why we're here, of all the volunteer efforts that Kevin has found himself involved in. Denville was lucky enough to have him as a councilman. He was on the zoning board and also was the chair and a member. He, as he still is, still volunteering, vice president of the Pride, Denville Volunteer Committee. You were very involved with the green, green, I call green team, the green, anyway, American Legion. Now it says here, junior vice. Are you in charge of the vice? I wasn't quite sure with it. But Knights of Columbus as an advocate, Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, very active in the parade, still doing the marshalling. How long have you been?
Close to 20 years,
but who's counting? Yes, and he does a good job at it. If anybody doesn't know what the marshal does, is it keeps everybody in the line, safe, and make sure that it runs smoothly. And Kevin has done a very good job at that. In fact, he was honored last year. He cut the ribbon to start the parade. And any person, I'm sure you, the moment you cut that ribbon, you thought of your mom and dad and your siblings. Your eight siblings. He comes in third, so you made it to the money. Win, place, show, so you did okay. But one of the things that many of you might not even know about Kevin and Kathleen is that they were, for about 8 or 10 years, the coordinators for the Project Children, which was an organization that would bring somewhere between 250, 300 kids from Ireland, and the Catholic children would wind up in a Protestant home, and the Protestant children would wind up in a Catholic home. And they did that for many years, and just did it, and did it well. So thank you. So in closing on this part, I would just, and in closing for good. These are Kevin's words, and in spite of some minor ups and downs, I have lived a charmed life in this great country, and I'm sure my wife can say the same. An immigrant living the American dream, only in America. God bless America. And I say to you, Kevin, God bless you and your family, and thanks for winding up. You got out of that little Dublin and came to good old Denville to share in, don't be telling them what I said, don't put this on. Thank you. I salute you for your service, even though it was kind of like a surprise when they tapped you on the shoulder and said you're going in the Army. But thank you again for being the man you are. I've had the privilege of being involved with you with our Irish Association and also many things, and Project Children as well. And you're a good guy, and that's a lot to be a good guy and a good Denville guy. Thank you.
I'd like to also talk about the group that I am the chairperson and president of, Denville Spark, which is a group looking to get a group home for 4 or 5 young people who've grown up all their lives in Denville, will not be able to live on their own due to their challenges and disabilities, and we're trying to get a location for them, get them a group home, so that they can live together in the town. As you can see, is as beautiful as it is, and the people here have been nothing but outstanding for my son and the other boys involved. And Kevin has been a true, not only financially, but also supporter of Denville Spark, and it means the world to me, and I am proud, very proud to introduce my friend, Kevin Scollins, and announce him as Volunteer of the Year.
Susan, you are the best. And all my friendly son's friends, good friends, they never let me down. Thank you, John. That was so special. Honored guests, Mayors Tom Andes, Councilman Lou Maffey, former Councilman Jean Fitzpatrick. All honorees and our lovely 2 Junior Volunteer of the Year award. Susan Reinhardt and the great special needs work that she does, that you just mentioned. My wonderful wife, Kathleen, our 2 daughters, Colleen, Rob, our son, Brendan, and his wife, Melissa, and their 3 children, the love of our lives, Connor, Caitlin, and Riley, and Tara's 2 children, and Michael, you probably saw sitting with us. They had to leave. They have a 4 o'clock flight out this morning today. And thanks to you, Brendan, for coming with your extremely busy schedule all the way from Greenwich. So, and then of course, my brother Joe, a Vietnam veteran, all the way from the Bronx. Thank you, Joe, for coming. Means a lot to me. Joe, like myself, is an old guy for traveling. He's almost 83 and I'm a year behind. So thank you for that. Family and friends, neighbours all, I am honoured and humbled to be here in your presence tonight, knowing that the town of Denville has so many wonderful volunteers. To make me the Volunteer of the Year award for this great organisation is way, way beyond my expectation. Indeed, my parents, as Ellen had said, would be very proud to know that I am the one standing in front of you tonight. I promised my wife I would keep it short. So with that, may the road rise to meet you, may the wind be always at your back, and may God hold you in the palm of his hands, and especially our young. God bless you all. God bless Denville. God bless the town. And God bless America. Thank you.
My grandfather came from Ireland, and Kevin reminds me so much of him. And the way he talks and the stories and his whole attitude brings me home when I'm around you. I have a proclamation for Kevin, and through my words, I only read one, but it's just like everything that was said about him tonight. You know, the essence is he's a family man. He remembers where he came from, all right, and he's true to God, his community, and his country. And I think that sums it all up. God bless you, Kevin.
I've something to share Tom Andes before he leaves. Growing up in Ireland, my father had a farm that went all the way out into the bottom of the mountain. And at the foot of the mountain, there was a little small, the farm that my dad owned was part of 3 sections. And the one little part of the farm was called Andy's Old Walls. Wow. Little town.
Okay, I hope everybody's enjoying their dessert, coffee. We're going to go around one more time with the 50-50s, and then we'll call that, and we'll wish you all a safe trip home. Thank you.
Yeah, just curious. Yeah, right? I saw that.